Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and there is a new format available now on Arena, and that's a big deal. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit here. If you guys want to jump ahead to the gameplay, you can do that. I always have the timestamps down below in the description, or they also show up on the bar if you're watching that as well. And so jump ahead if you guys want to. We're playing Red Dragons, but I'm going to dive into a little bit of what Alchemy is for people that are like me. I actually took a week off from looking at news and stuff and try to just focus on myself with Thanksgiving, whatever. And guess what? There's a new format when I come back, and out of not paying attention. And we're gonna dive into that now. So we have some new cards. First off, what is Alchemy? Alchemy is a new format here. If you dive into this, you'll notice that there's quite a few differences here with this. Standard is all of these sets. Alchemy is all of these sets, but some of the cards have been changed, and we also get to add in Alchemy. And it is the digital only format. Alchemy cards here that we'll see, and you can go look at this yourself. I'm not going to go into everything right now. I'm trying to do a deck video and not a full Alchemy breakdown video. But it's Alchemy. The cards from Alchemy can also be played in Historic. These have been Historic and Alchemy are the two digital only formats, where Standard technically is still played in paper. And I like that they're making this change because MTG Arena is the digital only real format, the format where it's focused on the digital format. And Alchemy, I think, will be a really good thing going forward, but I think it'll have some blowback here and there. It'll take some time to get going, really. I think it'll probably take 2 to 3 sets of this coming out to really make sense. What they're saying is that after each new set comes out, they'll put out a new Alchemy set as well, a few cards from Alchemy that will come out a month later, and that each month they're going to be looking at cards and rebalancing them for the format. Things like A-Goldspan Dragon are technically in Standard, and so they're a part of Alchemy, and Alchemy will rotate just like Standard does in the same sets and everything like that, but they'll also be including the other Alchemy cards. A-Goldspan Dragon is one of the cards that we have in this deck that has a little A at the very top by the A-Goldspan Dragon's name, and that signifies that it is a changed version from the Standard card. This, instead of saying when it attacks, so before it would say when it attacks, create a treasure token, and also if it was targeted, create a treasure token. It no longer says when it's targeted, so it doesn't get the mana to defend itself like it used to. And that was something that made A-Goldspan Dragon just a little bit too busted. And they rebalanced it to make it a little bit better. They've done the same thing with our A-Faceless Haven, which we're also playing in the deck right now, that is now only a 3/3 instead of a 4/3 when you activate it. Everything else is still the same, but it was just a little bit too much damage for the format, and that's why I've been playing too much. Luminarch Aspirant, instead of putting the counter on at the beginning of combat, now puts it at the beginning of the end step, and so weakening a lot of cards so that there's not just the same cards out there, which I am actually really excited for. What this should do is create a lot more decks in the format, create a lot more interesting play, and they should be all rebalanced. If there is something that really takes over, hopefully things will get rebalanced every month so we can kind of keep going. The upside of that is that it should make the format interesting, fun, and consistently have new fun things to do, but it will also mean that you're going to have to always be in the know, and there's going to be more cards to buy, and that is one of the biggest annoying things right now. Is let's go ahead and go into store real quick. I do want to talk about this. It's expensive to get all these cards. It's 3,000 to buy the 20 packs initially, but then it's 3,000 or 15 packs afterwards. You can dive in here and kind of buy them like this, or buy them with the coins. There's so many rares. Like I bought a fair amount, and let's just dive into how many cards I don't have with Alchemy right now. You get to keep all the cards that you had before, with A-Goldspan Dragons and A-Faceless Havens, like any of those cards that you had before that have been rebalanced, you get as many copies as you already had. And so you don't lose those. You just have that same card in either version of the altered version, the rebalanced version, or the standard version. But there are so many rares and mythics, and this is the ones that I don't have after buying quite a bit of stuff, and so I haven't paid a ton to try to make sure I have all this, but most of these are rare, some are uncommon, and whenever you open up an Alchemy pack, it opens up the rares and the uncommons of the Alchemy set, but then it will give you the commons from the most recent set, and so it's okay. It's not bad. It's not the worst. I'm okay with how things are going, but let's dive into this deck now. Okay, so Alchemy aside, I think it's okay. You guys can talk about it in other places. Now let's dive into what we have here. We have 2 new cards from this set, 3 cards that we're using from this set of Alchemy. Fearsome Whelp, 2 mana flying dragon. And having a 2 mana dragon first off is awesome. And this is a flying 1/1. And it also says at the beginning of your end step, each dragon card in your hand perpetually gains this spell costs 1 less to cast. That is huge. If we can get a Fearsome Whelp out on turn 2, and then it's the beginning of your end step, yeah, so then each of our dragons costing less is a huge deal. That's why we have a ton of 4-drop dragons, 5-drop dragons, and Inferno, and a couple 6-drop ones. But if those can all be 5 mana, it costs 1 less, 2 less, it changes the game completely. And I'm really excited to see if Fearsome Whelp really shines through. The rest of the deck is just around building, getting up to our big dudes, hitting in with creatures, having a bunch of early game removal and stuff to make sure we can do that, and just have fun playing Magic. So let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. Oh, I guess I do also want to show this in case you guys are seeing it for the first time here, but they do have new formats here where you can play in events. I really like that they've changed this blade. It was getting way too convoluted, but you can do some different things. I'm not going to dive, you can see this is the first time I've dived into it, but we're going to go ahead and play Alchemy in best of 1. All right, up against Mirada, and this is keepable. We have a way to ramp, we have some removal, we have some good dragons on the top end. Would love to find Fearsome Whelp every time. Like I'm wondering if that's a card that you just need a mulligan for and have, but right now we're just going to make sure we get out our ramp stuffs, get up to Goldspan Dragon, hopefully within the next couple turns. Kessig. That's a Fearsome Whelp, and that's a big deal. So this guy, what is it? Whenever he attacks, let's pass the turn and see if we can kill something else. Yeah, make our Goldspan Dragons cheaper. That is so huge. That is a very, very big deal. Having 2 Goldspan Dragons being 4 mana. Oh man, it's so good. Perpetually. Yeah, there's some cool stuff going on, fellas. Before it goes to combat, let's go ahead and kill this. They get to add mana here. We'll decline to show anything and just deal 3 damage there. Yeah. Add some mana, no blocks. They might be able to play Auto Wolf here. Hopefully not. They did have it. I was debating if I wanted to kill the Kessig and just take the 3 damage instead. It probably would have been better, but whatever. So Goldspan Dragon. This doesn't have reach, does it? Okay. Attack in. Get a treasure. And pass the turn. And then Goldspan Dragon costs 1 less. It's 3 mana now. It's so busted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Fearsome Whelp, I believe, is just one of the best cards ever. It's just, the only downside is that you do have to play dragons with it. Like, it's not something that can work with every single deck out there, but dragons are great. Dragons are expensive and still awesome. We're going to go ahead and kill... Kill Kessig now. I'm fine with Fearsome Pup getting bigger. Doesn't bother me too much. Taking 3 damage here. I could have killed that to only take 2 damage, but letting them have mana is not something I'm okay with. Dragon number 2. We get to draw a card here as well after this. Yeah, a couple of treasures. Lots and lots of damage. Down to 7. Yeah, we have enough mana now. We definitely just sacrifice this. Grab a dragon. Inferno. And we have Abrade if we need it. Pass the turn. And now it's a 5-drop. Oh boy. Yep. It's so good. All right. Dragons are now busted. And I'm glad. Dragons were not busted before. They were good, but not quite there. And now I think it'll be one of the top decks. I am happy about that. All right, we're up against Frankster, and we have a lot of removal, but I can't cast this. We have to find another red sorcerer to cast this. The only good thing here is we have Orb of Dragonkind and Dragon's Fire, but that doesn't let us cast our spells that will help us survive. So if we top deck some good stuff to get to Manaform Hellkite, fantastic hand, amazing. But we have to top deck like 2 red lands immediately. It's gonna happen. It's gonna work. Life is gonna be just fine. Worst case scenario, even if we find 1 land, we can still cast Hellkite. And we should be able to get to our other spells before too long. Hopefully. All right, what you got there, sir? I just realized I'm running way too many of these Draconic Interventions. I'm not running enough cheap spells. Ooh, that's nice. All right, we found the land. All right, now we have Hellkite online for the next turn, and then we can start making dudes. All right, the biggest thing I'm not sure of right now is I don't know what other people are playing. I don't know what stuff is out there. This could be counter spells. Feels like counter spells. Ways to add more mana. Which one do I want to get countered? That's the question. I would rather have the Hellkite out there, but I feel like it's gonna, whatever we play is gonna get countered. So we're gonna for Tyrant. Oh, didn't get countered. All right. I'm okay having this too, because we can at least add up extra mana. If we need to use Dragon's Fire, we can still tap down other sources and whatnot, have extra mana. Life is good. All right, so how this works. So you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Orb of Dragonkind says you can add 2 mana many colors, but you can only use it to cast dragon stuff. As long as I add red mana, I will be able to utilize it, but it'll be a little bit funky. It will still have the requirement of having to use it for dragons even after the phases end. Board wipe potential here. Lots of colors. Let's go ahead and play this out. I mean, if they have counter spells, sure, fine. Rolling Regrowth. Okay, so ramp steps. Five color ramp. Oh, Omnath. Omnath is a thing now, guys. Omnath is back. He's one of the rebalance cards. All right, Fateful Absence got a good one. That's fair. Ooh, all right. This is pretty cool. Okay, what colors do they have? Red, green. All right, so attacking first. This is one of the new cards that we got here as well. So I'm glad we get to showcase that soon, or right away. So down to 12. So Town-razer Tyrant. We get to put this onto whatever color we feel like we want to make sure they don't have anymore. Okay, that's fine. When it enters the battlefield, target land you don't control loses all abilities except mana abilities, and it gains at the beginning of your upkeep. This permanent deals, oh man, that's annoying. This permanent deals 2 damage to you unless you sacrifice it. Okay, we finally found a land. That's good. So we get to target one of their lands. And on their upkeep, they either sacrifice their white source or they take 2 damage. Putting on one of their better lands could have been a good option as well, like forcing them to have less consistency with colors, but I did want to put it on the one they do have. So yeah, they're deciding to take the damage instead and not sacrifice their stuff. And opponent's good stuff. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of this. I'm only running 2 of in the deck right now because I feel like there's just other better 4-drops. But I think it's a really fantastic card. If you can play this in conjunction with a land destruction deck, forcing them to keep a land on the battlefield that deals 2 damage to them every single turn, as well as hitting them for 4 every time as well, is something that becomes very, very busted. So I like this. This is fun. All right, up against Paraboloid, and we have Fearsome Whelp, but we have 0 dragons to get cheaper with it. A little bit awkward. Let's still keep this. We have some good removal in this hand. And enough lands for everything to work out, hopefully, potentially. Play this out tapped. This is actually a hand where it probably would be better to play on the draw. not necessarily better, but being on the draw would let us have more chances of finding some dragons, some creatures. Has a snarl. All right, we play out. Do I play out Whelp when I don't have a creature to make it cheaper? Or do I play out the Orb of Dragonkind and allow us to cast this for 1 mana on the next turn and still hold up removal? I think we do that. Pass the turn. Getting in for the 1 point of damage is valuable, but I don't think it's more valuable than trying to keep this alive and maximizing our mana. And we can still play a 4-drop if we found it right there, which would have been really nice. So let's play out Fearsome Whelp. And we'll play this out tapped. Pass the turn. Sweet stuff. All right, now, even if they have removal for this, we should be able to get in with Inferno next turn. Because it can't be countered. Doesn't have any protection, though. But still, good stuff. Righteous Valkyrie. All right, well... Kill Righteous Valkyrie or get in with Inferno. That's a tough choice. It's a lot of life gained. Draconic Intervention could be good if I had spells in the graveyard, but I don't right now. I think I just get in with this. Keep their life total low so they don't grow their other stuff. I'm expecting them to have removal is the issue. Pass the turn. If they have good removal and a cleric or something that they can start getting their life with, they don't mind taking 6 points of damage right there. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted. Huh. Well, A-Goldspan Dragon is phenomenal. Their life total will definitely be lower. That's 10 points of damage. I get 1, 2 here, 3. I can kill Righteous Valkyrie. I get close to lethal, but not quite. 4 blocks. I am going to go ahead and, I guess. Oh wait, cancel. All right, here, yeah. We'll let them block. Sorry, I was thinking I was trying to go for lethal there for a second, but not quite. With this, I had 3 mana. If they didn't block anything, I could have got lethal. But if I swung with the Whelp, they definitely would have killed Righteous Valkyrie. And I would have to fire this off beforehand to kill it. So it just wouldn't have worked. Now they're having to decide if they want to block with Righteous Valkyrie, which I would be fine with for sure. Yeah, A-Goldspan Dragon did not get that much weaker. It's still a fantastic card. And I'm actually glad with that. I don't want them to rebalance cards to the point where they're unplayable completely. But change up the format enough for it to be fun again, so that things aren't so busted that it's not even in the same realm. So, oh man, opponent is not only timing us out, they are forcing it to go to the very end of everything here as well. So annoying. All right, well, let's go ahead and kill Righteous Valkyrie and swing in so they don't have the time to block here. There we go. Oh man, well, people are still dumb. That's how it goes. On the draw with 2 lands and lots of early game removal, but no ramp. I think we mulligan. That looks better. Keep this. Drop a... maybe one of the dragons. Try to make sure I can get to... yeah, we can find more dragons. We need to have threats eventually, but I'd rather keep the removal and the land. So that's what we do. Tenacious Pup. This is a good card. Tenacious Pup is a pretty sweet card. Let's hold on to Shatterskull Smashing now. Might be able to kill multiple things. So yeah, when it enters the battlefield, this is one of the new cards as well. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. When you cast your next creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter, trample counter, and vigilance counter on it. That makes whatever you play next be a really busted card. And so kind of terrifying. We should be able to kill just about anything with a Dragon's Fire. All right, so they force the next one to be bigger. Even just stacking those up would not be a terrible way to go, huh? Fearsome Whelp was awesome. Is that more important than killing things right now? Sure. Play this out past the turn. It lets us play out our Manaform Hellkite on the next turn, but we could have done the same thing with the Orb of Dragonkind as well. All Ghost Troll. Yep, that's a big dude. And that's something we can't kill with our creatures at the moment. No blocks. I'm 16. Don't have enough mana to double cast. But we can hopefully at least make blockers along the way here. So play out Hellkite, block these guys, take 5. No reach. Swing in. Pass the turn. Not finding enough dragons to make this Fearsome Whelp good enough. We might be a little bit too heavy in removal. Swings in for 5. No blocks. Yeah, vigilance. I already had trample, but giving this vigilance is pretty scurry. Very good card. All right, so play this out. The cool thing about Manaform Hellkite is that using it on their turn allows us to have more blockers. And right now, I think that's what we need. Swinging with Fearsome Whelp. Pass the turn. Still no more dragons. Gonna use this Dragon's Fire to be able to do quite a bit of damage. I'm gonna let them draw the card here. And we are gonna go ahead and kill this first. Okay, they go for Snakeskin Veil. What do I need to kill the most? I could have targeted the Old Ghost Troll and been able to kill it with one of the blockers here. That would have been a really nice thing to do. But I think that... Oh my goodness. Wowzers. Okay, well, we block there. We block there, we block there. We take 5, but we clear their entire board. We're down to 6. That's the scary part. Very, very scary. Ugh. More lands, please. All right, so... Or not more lands, less lands. Orb of Dragonkind. Not instant speed. I think we crack this right away. At least try to get a dragon so we can play it out on the next turn after Fearsome Whelp. So that gives us a big dude that can block Old Ghost Troll. So we just need to survive on the next turn. So attack in here and here. trying to decide if there's any reason to be going even more aggressive than this. I don't think so. Pass the turn. All right, Inferno costs 1 less. They hit in. You say no blocks, take it down to 1. All right, I'm glad they didn't have another buff spell. I was really worried about that. What is his spell book? All right, so this is the spell book, different cards he can find, a bunch of different random options. He found this one. All right. Hey. What can he do here? Can do that again. Okay, we play out Inferno. He can't give something trample, can he? I have to block Old Growth Troll here. I can attack it with Manaform Hellkite to kill Garruk. They have Lair of the Hydra as well then. So I can't attack in with anything right now. Because they have 3 creatures to be hitting back with. So yeah, no attacks. If they didn't have Lair of the Hydra, I had a chance, but Lair of the Hydra stops us pretty hardcore. This will mean that they get to have a creature every turn, or make their creature that they do draw better. No attacks. Pass the turn. Whew, all right, well, we've kind of stabilized. Top decking will be very much necessary. Okay, yeah, it's your go. Come on now. The game is still being played. For the love. What is up with people today? All right, there we go. Good job, Mr. CS. He takes up. I guess that would maybe allow him to still hit in with Lair of the Hydra and cast something else out here. I think you typically would want to be able to do other stuff, though. All right, so makes a big dude. And then taps it down. Nice. Does not attack. Okay. Pass to my turn. All right. Shatterskull Smashing is huge here. We can get it up to... see, X5. And that'll let us kill Garruk as well. So yeah, X5. We will kill these ones. Yeah. Let's just have a 7/7 and opponent scoops it up. Sweet. Whew, all right. Things worked out. Life is good. That was a close one. Up against Flabadabadoo. And we'll keep... do we keep this hand? No, we don't. Just kidding. We're not keeping that. That's a crap hand. We'll keep this one, though. Yeah, we'll keep it. We'll drop... and yeah, Draconic Intervention is a card that I've never used. The hard part is you have to have a good powered spell in the graveyard as well to utilize it. Yeah, it doesn't hit any of your dragons, which is nice. But I think I'd rather just make sure that I actually have stuff to use instead. So there is the new board wipe that does 3 damage to all creatures, gives another one of your spells, instant sorceries, plus 2 damage. Siphon Insight. Luckily, we have some redundancy here. Fearsome Whelp and Orb of the Dragonkind are pretty similar. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. That's not a discard card. I was thinking of a different card there. Fearsome Whelp. That's the turn. I need to have more than one dragon in a hand at any one time. That would be nice. Like, I need to have Fearsome Whelp and, like, 3 dragons. Takes the orb, I'm guessing. Yeah. For shame. That would have been really nice right there. All right, what else you got? More discard, more annoying things. Does this exile it? Just damage stuff, doesn't exile them. Okay. A-Goldspan Dragon. I'm kind of expecting removal here. Hopefully not a counterspell. There is Syncopate in the format now. Removal here would be annoying. All right, that's not bad. Draw some cards. Get in, get some treasure, and that's a big deal. Now we should be able to play any dragon that we top deck. And as long as we can find more dragons and they find removal, we will win this game. Clean. All right, they have their own Goldspan Dragon. Does this effect last even if he dies now? It's meant to cast them, yeah, so it already triggered. That's annoying. Don't really have an answer for another against a Goldspan Dragon. I was debating on killing Klain right away in case we run into something like this, but they should definitely swing in. They're outpacing us like crazy. Getting the extra mana is just going to be valuable for them in general. It helps with the Klain stuff. Like their best bet right now is to get like 3 creatures out that are big or massive and that we can't deal with. And at that point, I don't know if we can win this game. Down to 13. Pass to my turn. I mean, that's not the worst. We can at least trade off now. Pass the turn. They take 2. I don't think they'll sacrifice their island. I mean, I would love that. They have treasures now, so it's not as big of a deal, but still. So this doesn't say until this leaves the battlefield. I believe that this will just stick around for forever now. Okay. Bounces that back. We'll go a swinging. We are going to trade off here. All right, so now here's the question: does this stick around? It does. Okay, I wasn't sure. It says that it just gains that text or whatever, and so it does stick around like that. That's pretty cool stuff. Okay, go Goldspan Dragon. Get us some more manas. Hit in for damages. Manaform Hellkite's pretty sweet. It'll be really nice if I can cast multiple things on a turn, though. Like being able to play out Hellkite Tyrant, Hellkite, and then, you know, kill other things, hit in for 4, same turn, good stuff. All right, now all we have to do is stay alive until they decide to sacrifice the island. No more blue mana, good stuff. Gold, oh my goodness. All right, 5/5 is at least easier to deal with. And they're attacking in with it. Okay, can I win? If I find an Inferno dragon, I win. Abrade. Oh, we're so close. We get them down to 1 with Manaform Hellkite. All right, so Hellkite go. We don't quite have the mana for the intervention. But I can Abrade the Kalane right away, which I think is worthwhile. Force him to sacrifice this land on the next turn. I could have saved that back for a blocker here, but I'm fine with blocking with Hellkite Tyrant, or unless they have removal. If they have Goldspan Dragon and removal, we're in trouble. But too late now. Swing in. They have to sacrifice their island, so they have a chance to sacrifice it. They have the treasure, so do they have removal? I don't think they have enough with all the cards here. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's game, I believe. Not quite. Down to 3. Past the turn. It's not quite game yet. It's really dang close. There it is, okay. Yeah. And concede. Ooh, that was a close one. Man, they had a good stuff. Holding back with the Goldspan Dragon. I did have a chance to do that. Oh, too bad, too bad. All right, so red Alchemy Dragons, I mean, obviously, pretty sweet deck. Man, I've had a lot of these decks go 4-1 lately. And we're actually on the play a few times this time, too. That's pretty nice. So that last game was brutal, but I feel like we could win that in some matchups and sometimes. Anyway, it was okay. I like this deck a lot. I think it's really fun. I am really excited for Alchemy. I felt like the format was pretty good. I always feel like Wizards has a tendency to either tack on just a little bit too much text to either make something too good or too weak. And I love the idea of them being able to just take like, hey, you know what, for a month, we're changing the text, and sometimes it'll be good, sometimes I think it'll be bad, but at least it'll only last for a month and it can actually be changed. A card that's really fun that I love can be altered to make it worth playing. Omnath, I think, is a really fun card, and I'm excited for it to be back in the format. But it was way too busted before, and so I think I'm not sure that one was changed enough. But anyway, I like it. I think Faceless Haven being a 3/3 is actually pretty good instead of it being a 4/3, which I think was a little bit busted. So a lot of things are good about this. I'm excited for Alchemy. Let me know down in the comments below though what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.